trying to attack. And I went to check the person's account. It's a fake account. And I took my time to click on the message of the person who was making that comment. The person have sent me so many insults before when I talk about very dark man. That person was following 30 people with 0 follower. Definitely fake account. Why do you people think that these people really want to cancel everyone? They want to make the social media for one segment of people. And that person is very dark man. Because the person that cursed me today, when I talk against the president, that person have already cursed me before when I try to bring a proof of VDM deception. And as you guys know, I'm no longer even emphasizing more on this guy. I've already given it to him as a content creator. I analyze, and this is what we'll do here. The president said Mr. Alex was his schoolmate in Chicago. But Mr. Alex is 58 years old. I want to show you guys something. For those of you guys watching on YouTube, let me just say, I think I'm able to grab this video and just show it to you guys briefly. Hopefully I can get a video. Okay. I believe I got the video.
The captain of the industry, the business community of Nigeria, my dear, very good friend, the story must be clear here.
My dear, very good friend, the story must be clear here. Now, we have no Tinubu's public life as long as we can remember. Have anybody ever seen this man with Jagaban anywhere at all? You know, these our leader, they have studied Nigerians. They don't study us. They now know that the only thing Nigerians want, a lie they want. If you tell them the truth, they would, in short, the bigger the lie, the better it is for them. So they have studied Nigeria. They have taken their time to study Nigerians. Good afternoon. Good evening from the UK. So they have studied Nigerians because the president is saying, my very good friend, Alex. Now, we have gone back to look at all of the public image of Tinubu. We are trying to see Alex in Tinubu's picture. Never. And if you watch when the president called Alex out, I want you to look at the body language of Alex.
Alex Segman, how are you? Thank you, congratulations.
You see, that is acting. The man is performing. Watch.
Thank you very much. When we were together,
when we are together, when we are together,
Thank you. Thank you very much. Alex, to all of you, Alex was my very good neighbor and went to the same school with me in Chicago.
Alex is his neighbor, and Alex went to the same school with him in Chicago. Alex went to the same school with him in Chicago. And Alex was a good neighbor and a friend. So Alex had a house. And Alex is a friend of our current president in Chicago. Let me allow the president to finish.
Never did we dreamt that I would be in this position as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and Alex will be a successful businessman from Belarus to bring about a very successful collaboration and bilateral relationship that will promote economic prosperity and future of our two countries. Alex, thank you very much for everything.
Now, you've heard it from the president. The president say Alex is a neighbor. Alex is a schoolmate. They went to the same school together. But this is where it's tricky now, because Alex is from Belarus. Alex is 58 years old. Tinubu is 73 years old, official age. Tinubu attended the school in 1977, finished in 1979. If Alex is 58 years old today, and Tinubu is 73 years old, official, Tinubu must have been around 40-something years old in 1977. And Alex would have been 10 years old in 1977. Alex is 10 years old in 1977. Your president is telling you that this man was his neighbor and a friend, and they attended the same school. Why do you think the president is telling us this? This is number one citizen in Nigeria. So how many of you guys think he's lying now? I think the president is saying the truth. Of course, Alex is his best friend. A 10-year-old man, old boy, is a friend to a 40-year-old man in 1977. Please, somebody should help me make it sense. Make it make sense. But the I'm just going to cut off this call. Sorry, guys. A phone call came into my phone. So Alex is Tinubu's mate in 1977. Alex is 10 years old. Now, somebody was making a comment on the trend where the video was posted today. And the person was saying, how do I know the president is lying? I said, no, I am not saying the president is lying. I'm just asking you to use your logic. I know you are supporting the president. You probably got paid to comment. At least if you're going to be commenting, you should comment something that is rational. There is no way a 10-year-old man will be a friend to Tinubu in that time. And again, somebody asked me, how did you know his age? It's on a public record. They are not Nigerians. They are Belarus. He's a Belarus. They don't falsify age in those countries. Now, in the UK here, you don't even need to ask somebody. If you see a young kid, you don't need to ask them about their age. You can ask them which year they are in the school, what year they are in secondary school or primary school. If they can tell you that, you can basically decode their age immediately. You might not get the date of birth, but you can say, okay, this person is born around this also time, because everything is in sequence. Age. For example, now, my son is 19. So they expected the child to enter university as soon as they are crossing 18. So, and they expected a child to graduate from school at minimum age 22. So by the time my child is doing his master, he will be like 23. Age is like that. So if you bring your child from Africa, they ask you about their age so they can bracket them in a class that is pertaining to their age gap. So Alex age is correct. Alex is 58 years old. So if Alex is 58, Alex was 10 years old when Tinubu claimed they attended university together in Chicago. Now, you have to ask yourself, another video I want to show you is the video of that Alex being arrested at the airport for trafficking big thing, Meta, international Meta trader. That is the man the president introduced to us today. Now, this is the questions that I like to ask people. Do you expect us to challenge the president? And why do you think we should ask the president? These stories are not matching. Why? Why do you guys think we should ask the president? You see, this is where logic reasoning comes in. This is where thinking comes in. No manipulation. Not lying to do content. This is where we come in. Now, a lot of you people get angry when we challenge questions like this. When we ask, people get mad. They got upset. Don't ask. For example, we cannot ask Very Dark Man to explain himself. His supporters, who are also mostly Tinubu supporters, they will come and abuse you. But I'm not seeing them now dragging Tinubu. You see why a platform like this is very, very important. People are no mumu. You cannot say we should not be asking questions. For example, today, I saw a video of Very Dark Man doing a solo protest. After the Benue one, he was doing a solo protest today. The primary school, demanding for teacher salary to be increased. And when you go on the comment section, you see them, well done, God bless you, you are the best. I'm asking myself a question. Do you guys ever ask yourself, what are the origin of anything? Let us not be lazy. Let us not be lazy. Let us ask. This guy took his time, sew uniform, arrange with that school, go protest with the school in a controlled environment. No other school involved, no other teachers involved, and you cannot see red light. You cannot see red light. Make you no act, make all of us the praise him. You cannot see red light. The other day, all alone, went to Benue, go show you. The second day, the president traveled to Benue. You cannot see. You cannot see. Una no fit see am. Una dey verse. If you are not getting paid to be trolling people that are asking questions about his conduct, please stop. You're not that mumu. The reason why the president is able to tell you like that is because he knows that you people don't ask questions. The reason why Governor Wike came out and said he spent 39 billion to renovate a conference center is because he knows Nigerians don't ask. The bigger the lie, the bigger you accept it. And 39 billion is $25 million. The reason why your pastors will look at you on the pulpit and tell you Jesus don't like poor people is because they know you cannot ask. On Sunday, you will still return back there. The reason why your pastor will look at you and say you should go and do fasting for 3 months when you are crying that cost of food is high is because you know you'll be mugu. The reason why your pastor will gather crowd in thousands and thousands and they lie to you from their nose to the bottom of their feet is because they know you are lazy to make a decision for yourself to move on. I recently attended a training. And I'm going to tell you about the training. And I was attending fire emergency kind of training. And the tutor demonstrates something. And this is in a Oyibo setting, actually. So they gather a lot of people inside the room. And then the instructor went outside. Then the fire alarm rang. But in the UK, if there's a fire alarm in a company, there has to be a warden that will come. All of you come out, come out, come out, and wear yellow ivy and direct them and direct people out. Okay, you can come this way, you can come this way. So in this case, there was no warden. There were just the people sitting down in the conference hall, and the fire alarm went. Everybody have their paper in their hand. And everybody in that room, this one will look at this one. This one will look at this one to say if the fire alarm is fake or original. But nobody was taking a stand to move. Then they do the second scenario. In the second scenario, the fire alarm rang, and the warden stood up and said, "This way." And immediately everybody stood up and they begin to follow the warden. Don't get angry with me if we come on this platform and begin to teach things. I know we human beings, we are very sheepless. We like to follow. Somebody that knows better, when they are teaching, humble yourself and accept it. Because one knowledge can save you tomorrow. One logic reasoning can make you pass an interview tomorrow. Just one. One logic reasoning. You could just gain it from here. It can save your life. It can save your children's life. Just for applying logic to your daily routine, your daily life. Don't just swallow it because it's coming from somebody that have said so many truths in the last 3 years. The person has been talking true, and all of a sudden the person lie. Then you say, "Oh, we're not calling him out because he's been telling us the truth." What about if everything you've been calling the truth was actually a lie? Nobody's against anyone. I'm not against any bloggers. I'm only talking about logic reasoning. Which is not too expensive. It is actually free of charge. You have it within you. Just activate it. The president said 1977 to 1979. His schoolmate, Alex was 10 years old. But this is what number one citizen is telling the whole of population of Nigeria, of 250 million people. So when we are talking against the president, not talking against him literally, just when we are critical, when analyzing him, and one content creator out there who is more deceiving the public than any other thing, when we analyze his case, he will say, shut up, don't talk. When we were live yesterday, somebody came down here and I was analyzing a story. And the person said, "Oh, this person is bad." I was talking about Harrison's story. And one of VDM supporter came and said, "Bro, stop talking against VDM. Stop talking against VDM." Then I'm like, okay, what about this person I'm talking about, Harrison? He said, "That one is very bad. That one is a criminal." I asked the man, "Do you think Harrison's supporter believe he's a criminal?" Do you think Harrison has done good before? Why do you think we can criticize Harrison, but we can't criticize Very Dark Man? The guy say, this is your tricky question. And he cut off and he left. It's not tricky. It's just a reality. If I can question the president, like there's a blogger, Objective TV, was the other day holding Reno Omokri to accountability. He said, Reno Omokri, you lied. And the guy bring fact, evidence, and show it out to Reno. I didn't see any Reno supporter going to abuse that guy. If that guy would have done the same thing for Very Dark Man, his Very Dark Man supporter will go and try to remove this guy account from social media. This is the difference between what we are doing here. Let us be careful, guys. And let us be guided. Because tomorrow lies on us. Now the president is talking, outright lying from his nose, saying this, my friend from Chicago, my schoolmate from Chicago, logic thinking, logic reasoning, logic thinking, asking questions. The reason why our continent is not moving forward, or Nigeria is not moving forward, it's not because we don't have oil, we don't have all of this. The problem is this: we are not a logic nation. We are non-charlatan. I was watching a video today, a video of one girl called Okoro. Let me show you the video. I'll show you the video. I'm going to show you the video, guys. Let me just say, if I can get the video from here, because I believe that at this point, we have to start showing things. Isaac. I saw the video on Isaac Fayoshe's page. Now I would like to show it to you guys. Now, the video you're about to watch here is this video here. Now, this is two Nigerian police with GUN running behind a skit maker in full uniform with a GUN with their official clothes, running behind. Did you see that? Those are police, Nigerian police. Nigerian police with full uniform with their service GUN following behind a content creator running after them, filming, getting filmed. Now tell me, why do you think this is happening? Because this is a failed state. I saw the same video the other day with this young lady as well in a market, police following her up and down. I laughed. I laughed. In the UK here, Prince Harry say he's no longer he don't want to serve the royal family again. He want to go and live his life with his wife in America. Prince Harry is born into the royal family. He's a former Marine. He's bloodline to the king. But he says he's no longer working for the royal family. And they stop his security. That if you now come to the UK, you will have to pay your own personal private security. The taxpayers' money can no longer give you police to guide you everywhere you are going. But here you have common content creator having 2 police officers running with her to be shooting content. The other day, I was watching a video of military men in Pastor Jeremiah Omofofo's church. It was not even Pastor Jeremiah. It was his son, tiny boy, was pushing soldier on the floor. Let's assume that they are fake soldiers. But for the fact that they wear the uniform, say a lot about our country. Let me be brutally honest with you. Nigeria is a failed state. Failed state. We don't push any priority on ourselves, no dignity, nothing. And this is why a challenging questions like this need to come up to challenge you, to make you ask why things are happening the way they are happening, why our politicians see us with so much contempt in their mind against us. Let us be careful, guys. The same hand you're pointing at people, more are pointing at you. Every time we come here and analyze, don't get angry. Don't say, oh, Mr. Ben, you really don't like this person. You really don't like this person. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I have enough likes in my life. You have enough likes in your life to be looking for social media likes that will take the truth away from your mouth. Now, the president have told you today that he was a friend to a 9-year-old child, a 10-year-old child. So we'll keep, somebody was like, Mr. Ben, you analyze too much. You're always analyzing. Well, why don't you do content tests? Because this is my content. This is the angle. We look at things critically. We don't look at situation halfway. We are too intelligent to look at things in a halfway. I presented a story today, and I challenge people to go watch the story. And I'm going to do that even more. I challenge people to go watch this story. Now, for those of you guys I want to show you a little bit of something. And I want to play it out for you guys. This is the audio version of my book, Under the Process. So I'm going to introduce a chapter to you guys today. This is the audio version. This is just the audio version.
Chapter X6, The Jungle We Call Nigeria. I call this chapter The Jungle We Call Nigeria. And let me warn you, this is going to make a lot of people uncomfortable, but that's okay. That's what truth does. It doesn't whisper, it roars. Over the years, people have asked me, Mr. Ben, why are you so angry? Some say I'm too harsh.
This is coming from my book. And I can tell you guys today, the book is called May Nigeria Not Happen to You. And the book has been in the making and to soon be available on Amazon, on all bookseller, on W.H. Smith. It is crazy. But the part that I'm showing you now is a part that I randomly just pick it. The book is about 32 pages long. I talk about everything there.
Others say I'm being too personal, but how can you talk about Nigeria and not get personal? How can you live through the madness, the injustice, the deceit, and still speak like you're giving a university lecture? Let me be clear. Nigeria is not a country in the true sense of the word. Nigeria is a jungle. And in this jungle, the citizens are the animals fighting to survive, while those who call themselves leaders are the zookeepers turned predators. From the local chief to the president, from the pastor on the pulpit to the senator in Abuja, they are all feeding on the system, not feeding the people. And the most painful part? We've normalized it. We've accepted this madness as the way life is supposed to be. We pray to survive it instead of rising to change it. We call it destiny when we should call it destruction. We call it fate when it's just failure in Agbada. When Kanu called Nigeria a zoo, let me take you back a few years. A controversial figure, Nnamdi Kanu, was on the rise, leading a movement for Biafran independence. He called Nigeria a zoo. And at the time, I was offended. Not because I loved the system, but because I couldn't imagine someone using such a crude metaphor for an entire nation. But over time, I listened. I paid attention, not to the noise, but to the message. And I came to a painful realization. Calling Nigeria a zoo is actually an insult to zoos. Because in a real zoo, there is order, there is record keeping, there are trained staff, there are rules. Animals are separated, monitored, treated for sickness, and protected from harm. A zoo is run with logic, even if the animals don't know it. There is a system. There is accountability. Now compare that to Nigeria. Where is the system? Where is the order? Where is the accountability? In Nigeria, the zookeeper steals the lion's food. He gives medicine meant for the sick elephant to his cousin in another state. He uses the zoo's money to build a fence around his own mansion. He lets the snakes and hyenas loose. And when the animals start attacking each other, he blames the animals, not himself. That's not a zoo, that's a jungle. The Rivers State Power Tussle, a case study in jungle politics. Let's talk about a recent example. Rivers State, one of Nigeria's most important oil-producing states, a place that should be swimming in wealth, development, and opportunity. Instead, it became the scene of a political ambush. The sitting governor, Siminalayi Fubara, found himself at war with the man who helped put him in power, Nyesom Wike, the former governor turned minister of the Federal Capital Territory. Allegedly, Wike demanded a cut of the state's revenue. And when Fubara refused, when he dared to say, "I want to serve the people, not my political godfather," a battle began. Soon after, there was talk of impeachment. There were protests, police presence, and political chaos. At one point, there were whispers that the federal government might declare a state of emergency just to remove an elected governor. Why? Because one man didn't get his share. This is jungle behavior. This is not democracy. This is not leadership. It's the law of the wild, survival of the most connected. When the zookeepers become the predators. In a normal country, government officials are caretakers. They are accountable to the people. They protect, they provide, they plan. In Nigeria, our leaders are predators in disguise. They hold microphones and preach morality while signing inflated contracts in private. They dance in public rallies and loot the treasury when the cameras are off. They take loans they never intend to repay. They create hardship and then show up with palliatives as if they are doing us a favor. Let me ask you, how can a country that exports millions of barrels of oil a day have fuel scarcity? How can a nation that boasts of billionaires have children begging on the streets? How can a government collect trillions in revenue and still claim they can't pay minimum wage? Because we are not a country. We are a jungle. And in this jungle, the people have been trained to applaud their abusers. The psychology of a trapped animal. If you've ever studied animal behavior, you'll know that animals in the wild are different from animals in captivity. A wild animal fights to survive. But when you trap that animal long enough, feed it scraps, beat it into submission, and isolate it from the world, it forgets what it means to be free. That is the Nigerian citizen. We are so used to suffering, we treat it like culture. We are so used to bribery, we call it appreciation. We are so used to poverty, we dance when a politician throws us rice during election season. They have broken our spirit. And the worst part is, they've made us blame each other. You hear people say things like, "Nah, we be our own problem." And while that's partly true, it's also the perfect cover for those really responsible. Because as long as we keep fighting each other, the jungle masters can keep hunting in peace. Historical context, this jungle was deliberate. This madness didn't happen by accident. It was designed. From the moment Nigeria was handed independence, our political elite have operated like kings, not servants. They saw the government as a cash machine. They saw power as immunity. And every generation of leadership since then has passed down that same mentality. Military rulers stole with impunity. Civilian leaders stole with sophistication. Institutions were never built to serve. They were built to silence. The police weren't trained to protect. They were trained to intimidate. The judiciary wasn't empowered to deliver justice. It was hijacked to deliver technicalities. The education system wasn't funded to enlighten. It was neglected to suppress critical thinking. In a proper zoo, you educate the visitors. In Nigeria, you confuse the citizens. The role of the church and traditional rulers. Let's not spare the religious and traditional institutions either. Our kings, our obas, our emirs, our pastors, they all play a part. Too many of them have sold their conscience for envelopes. They bless criminals on Sundays. They honor thieves with chieftaincy titles. They tell their followers to pray for prosperity while collecting donations to buy private jets. In the jungle, even the preachers have joined the hunt. The way out from jungle to justice. So what do? We start by rejecting the jungle mindset. We stop worshiping suffering. We stop romanticizing pain. We stop clapping for thieves. We stop calling silence wisdom. We start asking questions. We need more citizens who think like humans, not animals. We need activists who are not afraid, journalists who will not be bought, youth who will not be distracted, communities that will not be divided. This is not about party politics. APC, PDP, LP, it doesn't matter. The jungle doesn't change just because you swap the lion for a hyena. The jungle changes when the animals realize their worth and rise together to claim their freedom. We need a citizen revolution, not with guns, with awareness, with courage, with truth, with unity. Final word, you can't survive in a jungle forever. Here's the bottom line. You can survive in a jungle for a while, but you can't build a future there. You can't raise children there. You can't find peace there. The jungle rewards survival, not dignity. And if we don't do something, if we keep letting these predators rule, Nigeria will eat us all. It already has. But it doesn't have to end this way. The choice is ours.
Now, thank you so much. This is just a little bit of my book. And this is the audios that we are recording at the moment. And I said a lot there. And I do hope that the book will come out soon. It will be available, not just for Nigerians, for all over. It's an eye-opening. It's a lot of critical analysis there that I did. And everything that I stand for or stood for is literally what I express in this book. It has been very, very painstaking to write the book, to say my story, to document things. I didn't just cover one topic. I covered everything. And it will be available. If you like it, you can buy it. But I can guarantee you the book will do well. The title is May Nigeria Not Happen to You. I want to share the title with those of you guys on TikTok. That is the title. The book you just listened to now, that is the title. And I do hope that you guys will look at it when it comes out. It's detailed, it's painful, it's radical, but it's needed. Everything I say there is exactly what we face as a country. And for those of you guys who think, oh, Mr. Ben, this is hard, why would you go and write a book like this? Is the reason why you must read it. Now, this is the beginning of the book. For those of you guys that are there, you can. This is the reason why I wrote the book. I'm going to share it with you.
Chapter 1, May Nigeria Not Happen to You. I write these words with a heavy heart. The title of this book, May Nigeria Not Happen to You, might strike some as strange at first. It may sound like an unusual prayer or even a bold declaration. But if you've lived in Nigeria, or if you're Nigerian, you already understand its weight. You don't just hear those words, you feel them. And when someone says, May Nigeria not happen to you, you respond with a heartfelt amen. Not out of habit, but from experience, because you know exactly what it means for Nigeria to happen to someone. Let me explain. If I were to say, May America not happen to you, most Nigerians would be confused or even offended. But say, May Nigeria happen to you, and people will quickly reject it as if you've just cursed them. Flip it around and say, May the UK happen to you, or May Dubai happen to you, and they'll embrace it joyfully as if receiving a blessing at a church crusade. Why? Why do Nigerians reject their own country while longing for others to happen to them? Because when Nigeria happens to someone, it usually means injustice, frustration, and pain. It means your rights can be taken without consequence. It means the police, who should protect you, may extort or harass you instead.
Can you guys tap
it
for
means
me?
judges who sell judgments,
tap
truth
the
that
screen.
gets punished, and a system that silences integrity. In Nigeria, survival often comes at the cost of dignity. Being a citizen here is not always a privilege. It can be a burden. This is not an exaggeration. It's the everyday reality of millions. That's what this book is about. It's the story of what happens when someone returns home in search of peace, only to be destroyed by the very country that should protect them. It's about a man named Andrew Ochekwo, but it's also about me. It's about you. It's about anyone who has ever hoped that Nigeria could give them what they couldn't find elsewhere. A second chance, a clean slate, a homecoming. Before we get deeper, let me introduce myself. My name is Mr. Ben Samuel. I'm Nigerian by birth and British by naturalization. Online, many know me simply as Mr. Ben. I'm a father, a youth mentor, a motivational speaker, an investigator, and a critical thinker. For over 7 years, I've run a blog called Naija24 News. I live in the United Kingdom. I'm also a writer, a digital advocate, and a truth teller. Through YouTube, TikTok, and other platforms, I fight corruption, expose injustice, and encourage Nigerians to think for themselves. I didn't start out trying to be controversial. I just got tired. Tired of watching my people suffer in silence while those in power lied without consequence. So I started speaking loudly. Over time, my voice reached more people, but my focus never changed. Justice, especially when no one else is willing to fight for it. That's why I wrote this book. That's why I'm making a documentary. That's why I've poured time, energy, and emotion into telling the world about Andrew, because Nigeria happened to him. And if you're not careful, it could happen to you too. So, who was Andrew? He was many things. A Nigerian-born British citizen, a son adopted into love, a father, a trained gas engineer, a businessman, a former inmate, a man with dreams, and a man looking for peace. I met Andrew around 12 years ago through a friend in the UK. From the very first meeting, I knew he was sharp, bold, honest, sometimes too honest for his own good. Andrew had a habit of telling the truth even when it worked against him. That kind of honesty made him vulnerable, but it also made him authentic. We became close. I watched him grow his gas engineering company from the ground up. He started small under the name Gas Team, taking on modest jobs. Eventually, he landed contracts with major clients like KFC and Burger King. At his peak, he had 14 employees. He owned a £1 million home in Milton Keynes, a Range Rover, a Bentley, and other properties. He was flamboyant, proud of his success, but never reckless. He was careful, calculated. But success doesn't shield you from suffering. Andrew's marriage ended and he spiraled into sadness. He tried to move on. One of those new relationships ended in disaster. A woman he dated accused him of assaulting her during an argument. Initially, she didn't want to press charges, but after police pressure and a friend's testimony, the case moved forward. In the UK, domestic violence cases often go to trial, even if the alleged victim withdraws. The system takes over. Andrew refused to plead guilty. He went to court, was found guilty, and sentenced to 2 years in prison. He served 1. But when he came out, his life fell apart. He couldn't get contracts anymore. Background checks ruined him. Clients disappeared. His business collapsed. His employees left. His reputation, painstakingly built, was in ruins. Though he served his sentence, the system marked him permanently. That's when he said something I'll never forget. Ben, I'm going back to Nigeria. I need a fresh start, somewhere that won't hold this against me. I understood. I admired his courage. But I was worried. Like many in the diaspora, he believed Nigeria could offer healing, maybe even redemption. He returned in May 2022. First to Lagos, where he stayed with an aunt. Then to Port Harcourt, where he started a new business and tried to settle in. I visited him there. He showed me his apartment, his office, his goals. He talked about marriage, about peace. He smiled often. He looked forward to building something new. But he didn't know that the very country he returned to for healing would become his executioner. This book is not just about Andrew's death. It's about how it happened, how a broken system, corrupt officials, and silent institutions allowed it. It's about betrayal by those meant to serve, about a country that devours its own. May Nigeria Not Happen to You isn't just a title. It's a warning, a desperate prayer, a plea against the machinery that consumed my friend and tried to erase his story. This is his story, and it's mine too. Chapter 1.
Oh, thank you. That's my book. It's going to come out. You see, this is how I do things. I don't how many of you are here now? We have 9 people here on YouTube. We have 4 people watching. There was a time I had 50 people watching on YouTube. Why didn't I show this to them? Because for me, I am divinely led. I don't get led by emotion. A normal person will be like, oh, before I can say this, I want to have at least 20 people. When I know my page is like a lot of people are watching, I can show it. I'm not interested in the sales of this book. I'm not interested how much this book will make me. I'm interested how many people will hear the story. That is my priority. I want people to have access to this information. And if you think what you've listened to now is strong, you haven't started. It is in, all the way to almost 30 chapters. There's going to be audio, there's going to be hard copy, and it's going to be available in all bookshop. All. And people will buy it. Because the story I tell is a story that needs to be read. So may Nigeria not happen to you. It's hard. I'm almost shedding tears, to be honest. But it is important. Because Nigeria almost happened to me last year. If I'm not strong, if I don't have the truth, I would have been consumed. That's why you see me, I don't give a toast. I will say it the way it is. May Nigeria not happen to you. The book will soon be available on Amazon, on WH Smith, on all bookstore. In America, it's going to be translated into a couple of languages: German, French, and Italian. So if you are in Germany, a German-speaking person can also buy the book as well. And if you think, Mr. Ben, why are you demarketing Nigeria? Now, I'll just show you a video now of the president lying to you. Between me and the president, who is demarketing Nigeria? Between me and that 2 police officer that was following that lady, who is demarketing Nigeria? We are documenting it. So I tell you, you being on this platform is the biggest privilege of TikTok that you have. Because not many platforms say what we dare say on this platform. Challenge the notion that we challenged. Speak the way we speak. Analyze the way we analyze. Call it out the way we need to call it out. You are the elite. You cannot be regular visitor on this platform and think like a mumu. It's impossible. Let me tell you something. I don't need to market this book. This book will market itself. I don't need to come here and say, buy, buy, buy. No. No. The book will market itself. Once you open the first page, you want to know what is in the next one. You want to know what is in the third. You want to know what is in the fourth. You want to know what is in the fifth. You want to know what is in the sixth. You want to know what is in the seventh. It is full of everyday life of Nigeria. And I tell you something, there was no body that is spared in this book. Everything well put together. And we are launching it. I am launching it very soon. So let me introduce it to you guys. And to be honest with you, I didn't plan that I'm going to introduce the book today. I didn't plan it. I told you guys that I'm not ordinary. There are forces behind what I do. If you would know me last year, a lot of people wrote my obituary last year by this time. They were in June now. All because I dare to ask questions. They called me all sorts of things. Accomplice, this, all sorts of nonsense. But we're still standing. So I want to thank you guys for joining. For those of you guys that have stayed on YouTube, and also I stream on Twitch. I still can see one person on Twitch watching. Thank you so much for joining. And I want to thank you guys. This book is not against my country. It is actually for my country. And I said it there. If I look at a Dangote, for example, Dangote has achieved everything. Or let me just use Obi Kubana. If I look at Obi Kubana, he achieved everything. He's famous. He has money. He's a celebrity. If I look at him and I said, may Nigeria happen to you, what do you think Obi Kubana will say? What do you think Obi Kubana will say if I look at Obi Kubana and I said, may Nigeria happen to you? What do you think he think in his head? Or if I look at you and I said, may Nigeria happen to you, what do you think as a Nigerian? What comes in your mind? What do you think when I say, may Nigeria happen to you? You will reject it. Why do you think you will reject it? But what about if I said, may UK happen to you? May Dubai happen to you? May America happen to you? May Australia happen to you? What is your reaction? If I say, may Nigeria happen to you, what comes on your mind without even thinking? What is the first thing that comes on your mind? You think about what Nigeria can do to you if it happened to you. If I say, may America happen to you, oh, America, yes, amen. This is why I say what I say. If Obi Kubana, as rich as he is, as lucky as he is in Nigeria, if Obi Kubana can reject, may Nigeria happen to you, who are you then? If a whole Obi Kubana can reject it, somebody that Nigeria, the good of Nigeria is already seeing it. So when you look at that man and say, may Nigeria happen to you, and the man say, God forbid bad thing, what do you think it means? Now tell me that we have a country. Or tell me we don't have a country without saying we don't have a country. So those of us that are documenting this reality, we are the hero. We are documenting it. When I was reviewing this book, I sent it to some people, and some people came back to me and said, Mr. Ben, they are going to charge you for treasoning. The government will not like this. I don't want them to like it. I don't want them to like it. I want the people to like it. So if the government don't like it, it's even better. Maybe something need to change. So may Nigeria not happen to you. Take instant amen. May Nigeria happen to you. Take instant rejection. Why do you think so, guys? Why? This is why I have this platform. And a lot of people think, oh, Mr. Ben, you are chasing cloud. You don't like people. You don't understand what I understand. I don't see things the way you see things. I see way more than that. And I have been very, very successful in predicting all of these things. And I know when I see fraud. So I'll keep you guys updated. When the book is launched, I'll tell you it's available on the website like this, like Amazon, Kindle, and W. Smith and other bookshop. It's international. I'm not writing it for Nigerians. I'm writing it for Ghanaians, Africa. I'm writing it for everybody. Everybody is going to learn one or two things. I want to thank you guys for joining. Thank you. For those of you guys on YouTube, I appreciate you guys for always spending evening with us like this on this place. As I said, I am not a blogger that chased. I speak out of the box. I think logically. And I am encouraging you to think logically. I am encouraging you to ask why. Very, very important. Thank you so much, and good night from here.